Hello, thanks for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundell, for your astrological overview for week commencing the 14th of April. Mercury's connection with Uranus continues apace this week. The tightening up between the two sees, of course, Mercury joining in with the T-square that I outlined last week. But also on the other side of the heavens, we have Mars, which is continuing to twist backwards. And by the middle of this week, we have a grand cardinal square. This is probably one of the most complex of all influences. And it is potentially going to cause a lot of tension in all our lives and perhaps in geopolitical senses too. Perhaps we've also seen some of the build-up to this on the back of the T-square since the turn of the year. Uranus is a very reckless energy in Aries. It can see people do things that are very profoundly brilliant and instinctive, but it can also see people really go against what one would consider to be common norms. And also Jupiter in opposition with Pluto, which have been feeding into Uranus. Well, that can see people being very, very ruthless. And again, we've seen that kind of behaviour unfolding as well. So to have Mercury in the mix, the talk and thought side of it, can see some wonderful developments this week in terms of creativity, especially in science or anything to do with technology. Breakthroughs are possible. But equally, with Mars on the other side of the heavens, it's a much more get to it now. It's an instant gratification energy. So it can set up in its opposition to Uranus some very warlike conditions. It's not good stuff at all, unfortunately. Now, underpinning all of this, we also have a lunar eclipse on Tuesday in the sign of Libra. Now, Libran energy here is really encouraging us to try to find ways to improve dialogue, to listen, and not just be so caught up in asserting our needs. But there's going to be a lot of people competing for attention, not just in our own personal situation, but in the world as a whole. But there is one aspect that is really very positive this week, and that sees Venus in Pisces, where it's exalted, forge a really positive link with Pluto. And in this sense, if there are alliances that are building up that are fundamentally good, whether it's in our personal lives, at work, or in the wider scheme of things, then they can go from strength to strength, and we can appreciate the people who really matter. Now, late on Saturday, the Sun is going to power its way into Taurus, the second solar sign, and by Sunday it's going to be fully at home. This asks us all to reflect on the drama of the week thus far and just try to get more grounded, literally, because we could all be rocking with the sheer energy and pace of events that have occurred. The one thing this week won't be is dull, but it is going to be rather random, to use a word. Thank you very much for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.